Greetings, sugar lips. You should always buy in the depression and sell in the euphoria. Now, if you don't have confidence in selling in the euphoria, it's okay. If you keep buying in depression, you're going to make it. Your portfolio will accelerate because by definition, when you buy in the depression, you are buying underpriced assets. You are buying other people's pain. You know what other people's pain means? It means their socks are so not fluffy, it's killing them to keep them on. So they walk around with bare feet, they get scratches in their toes, dry cracked feet, and it hurts. And they say, I can't take it anymore. I want to click out and sell. And in crypto, it's beautiful because they will sell at an irrational price. They will sell just to sell. So now that we know they're going to sell just to sell, what happens when they buy? Well, a lot of people get confused, and that's why I'm here to share this high quality information with you. Most people think when an asset price goes up, you're watching a crypto go up, most people are looking for a complicated reason. They believe it's got something to do with the tokenomics, the way it's set up, the application, there's something magical in the code. Wrong. People clicked buy because they fucking can. That's about it. That's it. Someone out there thinks that they can get another sucker to buy after them. It's as simple as that, man. And they're getting in just to feel good. All right? So, the beautiful thing is we can look on a DEX and you can actually see this happening. So, this is a DEX, so decentralized exchange, bot channel for HEX. And every buy and sell that goes through comes in here. And I'm going to go back. I want to take you to the lows, right? Have a look at this. And this was disaster, all right? This was absolutely just crushed our bones. So it went down here. Look at that though, man, like basically 97%, all right? So down here, right? Down here, it looked like the pain would never stop. Do you know what the buys were, man? I was sitting here watching the buys. I was watching it in this channel. And man, it was depressing, friends. All we could get was like $1,500 buys. 1,500 USD. 1,800. 1,600. They were so small. And I was watching big paper hand whales get out of like $300,000 at a time. I'm like, oh my God, man. You know how many $1,400 buys that is? And look, I know the game, and you know the game, right? You buy in the depression, you sell in the euphoria. But when you watch it, detail by detail, it can crush you. You really lose hope because we can only think in linear time terms, right? We can't possibly imagine the growth rate changing and things getting better. And this was just like 2 months ago, man. Not even 6 weeks ago. So what I started noticing was, this is the magic. As soon as HEX price started going up here, and then up here, and this part came, man, these the buys and sells here, they transform. Look at this, right? $31,000. Look at the next one, 10,700. Look at the next one, 24,000. Look at the next one, 8,600. Okay? Look at this one, 16,000. These are happening now, friends. Now. They didn't want it at 1.7 cents. But now, let's go do that ratio. 4.95 divided by 1.7. Now that it's up 2.9x, they're like, oh, it's so cheap now. You get to see it in real time. No one wants to stand in front of the train. No one has steel testicles. And if you're a lady, nobody has ovaries like you. That's why you need to think long term with me. These 6 hour, 8 hour, 1 hour charts, even the daily, it's a curse. It does you more harm than good. I always say, man, if you put it on a monthly chart, you can describe everyone's confidence in the color of the monthly candle. I'm not even joking when I say this. Do you know, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, where the hell were your $30,000 clip buys when we were at these lows when we needed you to rescue us? Now, look at this. Like, oh wow, look how cheap it is. It's up 200%. It's look, I know this happens. You know that I know this happens, but I actually get to watch this price action, man. I actually get to see it with my own eyes. I'm like, what the hell, right? Because a few big guys come in and push it up. Now you have all this confidence to start doing these bigger clips, you know? This guy's selling, the big clips are getting bigger, man, you know? There's a 50K sell here, but it's still holding up. Look, it's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts. I can't believe, look, there's 57K, 35K, but it's still holding up. We're still holding up. People are still willing to gobble it up the top. Man, it's one thing to like just go through the textbook and the thesis, but it is another thing to actually witness it. It still blows my mind, right? So I've got some cute little nice tweets to go here through with you. Look at this, man. So I've got here, this story is an example of the types of people who are selling their crypto here. Absolutely clueless weekends. Now this is gold, man. Look at this, right? My boomer boss I helped on board into crypto in September of 2021 asked for my help this morning to sell his crypto. At the end of the day, he called me into his office and laid me off. This is crypto, right? This is literally crypto right here. We're witnessing it. This is exactly what happens. Everyone comes in because they hear about the buzz. They come in and they're like, hey, remember that diamond hand stuff? And they say, yeah. And you're like, are you going to hold? And they go, no, fuck you, man. You're trying to scam me. I'm selling. That's what happens. That they're selling just for the sake of selling. People are selling, that's it. They read one small bad news about the SEC, nah, I'm out. And that's good. Get them out. Get them out. Let the strong hands accumulate. Right? I did a cute fair value measurement for HEX, okay? And we can go through this, right? In 2021, we went 6x above the fair value, okay? And we kept growing more users. So now the fair value I have is about 11 cents, right? And we went 6x below it. So from 1.7 cents versus 11 cents, you went a minus 85% down. Let's just show you how volatile these are, okay? When people want to get rid of stuff, they'll get rid of stuff. They don't care. Fair value, blah, 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 blah. Nothing, they don't care. There's no fair value, man. It's all a scam and a Ponzi to them. But that's what you want. That's what you want, man. You know? If you were starving on the street and someone had like fruit to throw out and they said, well, all this fruit is trash. And you were like, hey, man, you know, you only had like 2 rotten apples, but like the other 30 are okay. They're like, I don't care, just get rid of all of them. You see what I mean? That's how you have to see yourself, as that hungry wolf. You got to be that homeless person on the street. If you don't think like this, you're never going to make it. All right. So much juicy information here for you. And look at this. If you have no conviction from me, look at this. Baby boomers have the most wealth in the world. They've got 55 trillion in assets. 25 trillion net worth, right? Because they got debt, right? So they love property, and the old blue chip investments, which you all know are trash. They vote for the politicians to keep the sanctity of this through government policy and spending, right? And here I have Abe Simpson. So this is what happens, friends. So this happens on such a slow time frame for crypto people. You just can't understand, right? Because, you know, 4 years is like way too long for most people. Like, try to keep a crypto person's attention for more than 4 hours. Good luck, right? So this is what it's like. They're going to keep voting for the spending, you know? I was smoking shisha with my friends, and we did this theoretical, and I was like, man, if I came in as a politician saying, hey, the debt's too high, we got to go back to the normal ways, you know, there's too much social welfare spending, we got to cut yous. I'll be like, I wouldn't vote for a dickhead like me. I'm going to vote for the guy who says, I'm going to grow a mustache, I'm going to give you a pizza coupon, and you're going to get a public holiday. And we'll take like 3% off your taxes. Oh, straight away. Straight away. I don't care who this guy, who he is, what his past is. Don't care. Voting for him straight away. So just run this experiment on yourself. Do you think that people are going to take the hard pill? No, they're not. All right. So that's why you got to be bullish in crypto long term. All right. So look at this, man. A friendly reminder that crypto is crashing every single year. Sometimes twice. Viciously deep dips. They are part of the game, right? And yeah, they're not more like dips. They're like obliterations beyond imagination, right? Ethereum dropped minus 95%, and then it still ripped faces 40x. And here I say, find a way to earn yield, buy dips. You got to hodl. 2024, 5, 6. That's how we survive. Look at this, man. Ethereum dropped 95%, still came back to Valhalla, all right? it can do it, other crypto can too. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, but Ethereum's the unicorn. Ethereum's the unicorn. You got to understand, man, we've run this experiment in crypto so many times. The smart people out there, the founders, they are learning how to copy the success of Ethereum. So there are people out there, right? All these founders, they've learned, okay, not all of them, not all, some. They go, okay, why did Bitcoin succeed? Why does it have people? You know, it's got a religion, all this stuff. And then they go down the line. Okay, why is Ethereum succeeding? Okay, so we're all humans. We are all of the same blood. We all wear socks and we all like wearing slippers. All of us. We wear our mittens when it gets too cold. You have to think about competition. When competition comes in, humans start looking to the left and the right and they try to improve and they tweak stuff. You got to have faith. We do, man. We do. Nobody's really that special. We're special as humans, right? But we ain't really that special amongst each other. Look at this. We have the SEC Fud coming out. And I made this tweet to clear the air because there are people selling. You know, I'll be honest. I didn't even, when it first came out, I didn't even read what the SEC Fud was. I was just like, fuck them. I was honestly saying that. I did not even read. I thought the SEC was literally coming and saying, I'm going to crush Ethereum. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not going to read it. Garbage Gensler, screw you all. SEC's corrupt. And then I read this little piece and I watched some interviews about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm not going to side with them, but I understand why they did what they did. Look at this. Clearing some air, because they're smelly farts, clearing some air with SEC and staking crackdown. Look at this. The SEC went after Crackhead because of these key issues, right? One, so Kraken modified the ETH staking with features. So they added stuff, different yields, different that, different fees, remove this, remove that. They actually changed a lot of stuff. Two, they auto-staked for users. Okay, so I'm like, that's a good thing, right? But still, they're like, hey, you can't go and stake stuff for people. You can't tell people, hey, own this coin and we're automatically going to put it in the network for you, right? So it is what it is, right? Three, the yield was determined by Kraken themselves. So it wasn't, hey, we're going to stake it with the network and that's it. It's Kraken had their own way of determining it, okay? And look, we'll scroll down. Kraken didn't even stake all the ETH all the time. And then they would give the yield out at 2 times of the week. You know, so they deviated too many features away from the standard Ethereum protocol. When I read this, I like slapped myself in the head. I'm like, man, why are we selling off again, you little bitches? Why are we selling off? Did anybody even read this information? Friends, I have seen so many times, I'm not joking, I've been fudded out myself with you guys. I'm like, oh no, it's over. It's over. I'm in cope mode. And then I go read the news and I'm like, you know what? I'm not making this up, but it's actually not as bad as everyone thinks. Like, wow, you know? Because I want to hate and kick my feet up and scream with everyone else too. I want to be angry. But I'll read the news and I'm like, man, you can't get angry once you actually spend 40 seconds reading the news. So native staking is still good, you know? Ethereum staking, you have HEX. Everyone was worried about Pulse Chain, right? I'm still saying here, don't turn your back on the SEC. They're still evil scum. They know what they're doing, but this kind of waters it down, man. So if you are selling, I'm sorry, but you drink soy. You drink high estrogen soy. Your test is so low. You have the testosterone of a pre-teenage girl. That's how low it is right now. You know? Look at this, man. My final message, friends. So I know you're not going to believe it, but the SEC crackdown is actually bullish for crypto. Now, I hesitated to write this because I was like, man, I sound like one of those, you know, those chumps, no matter what happens, like, oh, this is bullish for crypto, you know, like, oh, Joe Biden just come out and said capital punishment for anybody who has any crypto. Okay, yeah, wow, this is so bullish, man. Yeah. Sit down, everything's bullish, okay? But this is actually bullish, friends, yeah. So Kraken was trying to do their own enhanced yield, and they called it DeFi. The SEC did us a favor. Because every centralized exchange, they could just easily make a tab, right? You got to think about it like this, right? So, you know, you go on their website. This is a Square website. And they go up and they have like, you know, you have your login. And they're like, oh, come to DeFi. And you click here. And you're like, oh, I'm going to click here. Give me the yield. And you're like, wow, 10%. Woo. DeFi, I love that word. It was blurring what DeFi actually is. You're not allowed to call things. Hey, it's not DeFi, man. DeFi means decentralized, not we all put it through one dude that clicks a button for us, okay? So the SEC did us a favor. And the good thing is, I'm like nowhere near popular enough. No one pays attention to me, which is good. I can tell you this information because, you know, if I had a couple 100,000 viewers, I would not be saying what I'm saying, man, because I wouldn't want them to catch on to it, right? So, you know, so the SEC, right, they now clamp down and force centralized exchange to declare transparency and paperwork for the retailers. It's not optimal, but it makes people smarter. If people have to see the word DeFi on other YouTube channels and go, what is this and what's yield and stuff, that increases the probability that you get more people clicking outside of the centralized exchanges, more people who want to do self-custody, which is what we're all here about, okay? So, all right, because of this hassle, the buzzword DeFi is not going to be poisoned on centralized exchanges. That's ultimately what we want. The last thing we want is for them to call everything DeFi, because DeFi is a buzzword, you know? DeFi, 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 right? It's just like with girls where they're just like, everything's natural. Everything's natural, you know? Like, oh, I only got like 2 mils of Botox, not 4. You know, so I'm pretty natural. Oh, I only got like, you know, the top part of my nose broken for a nose job, not the top, middle, and bottom. Oh, okay, so that's pretty natural too. You know, it's the same thing. Same, they just blur the words out. The words mean nothing, right? So, people are going to seek to have self-sovereignty and explore the blockchain. That's what we want, man. We want people to do that. That actually pumps our bags better, right? But at the end of the day, the SEC want to choke DeFi, but they're pushing people to learn faster by accident. Sometimes I think they're all evil geniuses, but in the other times, I know their playbook, right? And my final message is going to be this, right? Those government people, they think we're scum. And you know what? They're right. I haven't showered in 4 days. This room is so dusty. All right? Yeah, I'm scum. I'll say it. We're all scum. But what we're not poopy heads. All right? We're peanut brains. So they think because we're scum and we're smelly and we don't know how to tie our shoelace and we don't know what's going on, we can barely write our names, they think by default everything is wrong with us. And that's where they get it wrong. Eventually, we figure it out. And when one person figures it out, they learn how to funnel everyone else in. And that's what's been going on with blockchain, with crypto, right? People are going to make better MetaMask user interface, better DeFi, better clicky and clacky and tippy and tappy, little GIFs and emojis, right? It was so hard to use email like 30 years ago, man. No one knew what the hell was going on. No one. What's an email? What's an app? Can I do this? Can I do that? What happens if I do a typo? No one knew what's going on. Now everyone knows. Email's like boomer tech, right? That's probably where crypto is going to be. And that's why we're still early. And remember, go back here, man. Go back to these people. These people are doing the wrong thing. As the price goes up, their clips are getting bigger. Wrong. You should be going giga hard when the prices are down. All right. Now, these prices are still very low for all the crypto, right? I would say once Bitcoin crosses, let's go to a Bitcoin chart. Maybe you've heard of that coin. I would say once Bitcoin is now in the 40 to 50K zone, all bets are off. It's just like, don't bother asking me. I've got no idea, man. We're either going to fake out to the top and go to zero, or we're going to continue. Like at that point, it's like you've had too much time watching me lose my mind on the internet. And I'm telling you, I'm like, guys, I woke up today. I literally want to put a bullet in my own brain. I don't want to live anymore. This is so painful. Fuck it, you got to go all in. Like, how many times can I do this before you finally go, oh, that was the time to get early, right? But look, we just saw, man. People are going to exponentially add as the price goes up. I love you all, friends. You know a lesson to learn. Remember to tell your mum you love her, and I'll see you next time.